taking inspiration from my nephew. He doesn't like sauce on anything. I'm just having some pizza, talking some hockey.
So who's left right now?
Right now it's the same. It's the rematch from last year's Stanley Cup final.
Really?
It's Florida and Edmonton.
There's two teams left?
Yeah, it's the Stanley Cup finals.
Oh my god, we're in the finals?
Yeah. When Edmonton beat
Oh
Dallas
my
again,
god.
that was the last game.
Have they played?
They get like a little break now.
Oh god.
They play all the other games. They played like back to back to back, pretty much. But right before they start the finals, they give them a little break. I think to rest up and heal injuries and stuff like that,
Oh my god.
and to do more media.
Oh, yeah. Build the excitement?
Yeah, it's to build more excitement and hype for the finals. But the problem, one thing I think that happens sometimes, if they wait too long, it actually kills a bit of the buzz. Because people are like, if they're like, say they're a casual fan, they're kind of half into it. Too many days off in a row with no watching hockey, it can get out of their routine. You know what I mean? They might start going out and doing other stuff. Because it's the summer now. Like, I almost feel like they wait too long sometimes.
How long are they waiting this time?
I think it's like June 4th.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like 4 more days. And since the playoffs started, there's been a hockey game on every single night.
Well, when did the break start?
The final game was like 2 days ago, I think.
Okay, if you can't wait a week between games, you don't even deserve to watch it.
I guess, yeah, but they're gonna lose the casuals. The casual fans are gonna stop watching because they're gonna they might because they might have been used to watching hockey, like it was part of their routine every evening, right? And then they get out of the routine. My favorite hockey team's on my hat.
Do you think the Flames are ever gonna get their shit together?
The Flames? I don't know, they might, maybe next year. They got some good prospects. They got Zane Perret coming up. He was like basically a generational style defenseman from the OHL last year.
Really?
And I say that generational because he put up numbers comparable to Bobby Orr. You know who Bobby Orr is?
No.
He's the highest scoring defenseman of all time.
Oh, okay.
And he's basically like the Wayne Gretzky of defensemen. But yeah, Edmonton and Florida are back in the finals.
What's chat saying?
They're saying hello, hi. Edmonton's better. I don't believe them.
Better?
That's what they're saying. I mean, Edmonton didn't win a cup last year, so they could be the worst. Oh, I can believe them.
Oh.
That's fine. Thanks, Bill. They're just saying hi, hi, hi. Edmonton's better.
I mean, right now I think it's better.
Well, here's an interesting thing. I think Edmonton only have 5 more points than the Flames did at the end of the regular season.
Really?
Something like that.
5 more months.
The Flames missed the playoffs with the highest amount of points of all the teams that missed the playoffs.
Oh my god.
In fact, they had more points than New Jersey did in the East. And Montreal too, I think. But here's the thing. Edmonton and Florida, both I feel like they were not trying their best during the regular season. They were gearing up for the playoffs the entire year. What's up, Ikambu? Because their true test is how they perform in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
They didn't care about the regular season. And look what happened. Now they're both going back to the finals. This has not happened.
Incredible.
The last time something like this happened, do you know when it was?
When?
2008, 2009.
Who?
Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. And guess what happened to them?
What?
The first year, Detroit won. Because it was versus Detroit. The second year, Pittsburgh won.
Oh my god. Oh no.
And guess what? Florida has been to 3 Stanley Cup finals in a row now.
Oh god.
Because they made it back in 2023.
4 or 5.
Yeah, 2024, and now they're in 2025. Now remember, what happened in 2023?
What?
Do you remember who won the cup?
Vegas?
Vegas won the cup.
I'm gonna remember that.
Florida makes it back to the finals the very next year, and who won the cup? Florida. Edmonton made it in 24. They make it back in 2025. What does that mean? What's going to happen?
Oh my god, I'm feeling.
I don't know. I hope
I
not.
knew it. I've been saying this for so long.
I mean, the signs are kind of pointing that way right now.
And like, I just feel like Florida doesn't have the stamina, the drive to do it again when most of their team has already gotten that way.
I don't know. They're a tough group of players, though. They want to build a dynasty. To build a dynasty, you have to win back-to-back cups. Or at least multiple cups in a short period of time. The fact that they made the finals, now 3 years in a row,
Yeah.
and previous to that year that they made it to the finals, they were the President's Trophy champions, which is the best team in the regular season. So they're the #1 team of the regular season in 2022, made it to the finals in 23, made it to the finals in 24 and won the cup, and now made it to the finals again in 2025. They pretty much already are a dynastic team. They've built one of the best teams in the entire NHL. You want to know what else?
What?
The teams that made it to the finals before Florida was Tampa Bay from the eastern side. And you know where Tampa Bay is? It's in the state of Florida. So a team representing the state of Florida has been in the Stanley Cup finals for 5 years in a row now.
Oh my god, what's in the air in Florida? Maybe we should go.
I don't know. Florida produces good hockey teams. I think, this is what I've heard some people say, is that they attract really good players because the best players want to live in Florida. Because it's good weather, you know, there's beaches, the taxes are low, and they're millionaires, so they get, like, taxes is actually a lot when you make millions of dollars. Like, you want to be able to save on that. So, lower taxes, warm weather. A lot of hockey players like golf, like they golf in their free time or whatever. Really good golfing in Florida. So it kind of makes sense. Oh, and here's another thing.
What?
They can remain sort of anonymous. Is my lighting okay or is it too dark? You sure? Okay. Well, they like being more anonymous too.
What?
So that they can just live their life. Because imagine you lived in Edmonton, right? You're Connor McDavid. You can't go to the liquor store and buy yourself a beer. You can't go to the coffee shop and buy yourself a coffee. You can't go to the mall and shop for your wife. You know what I mean? Like like people would come up to you and ask for pictures. And
Maybe some people like that.
some of them might that want to feel like celebrities.
I'm sure some people do that.
But I feel like a lot of the players just want to be able to, like, yeah, on their off day when they're not actually playing hockey, just be able to go to the Starbucks and grab a drink and sit on the patio and just relax with their friend and not feel like people are watching them and having eyes on them. I think a higher percentage of players would prefer that than.
Yeah, because for their job, they would get that. Yeah.
Exactly. I think a higher percentage, like more than 50%, if they said you have the choice of being a millionaire, playing a sport that you love, but you're kind of unrecognizable in the streets, or when you walk down the street, people ask for your autograph and to take the picture all the time. I think most of them, more than 50%, would say, I'd rather just kind of be unrecognizable. Of course, you're right. Some of them probably like this. Like, some of them like having select status.
I think so.
Some of them do. But I think some of them do just like to, like,
I also think like
blend in.
hockey player.
Yeah, but the
Okay, fine. Connor McDavid, but then who else? Who else is really getting approached for that one?
in a crazy hockey market like Edmonton or Toronto, the difference would be night and day. The amount of times you get recognized. You get recognized everywhere
Edmonton?
in Edmonton.
Okay.
Right now, especially because they're a really good team. Like,
Maybe I'm just thinking that because I remember
No, you wouldn't, right? But Edmonton is right now, like, everybody's paying attention to the Edmonton Oilers. So if you were an Edmonton Oiler, you probably wouldn't be able to go to West Edmonton Mall and just take a day off with your kids and go to the water park. You probably wouldn't be able to do that because people would be bugging you too much. If Edmonton sucked and nobody was paying attention to them, then it would be a little bit better.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're in the Stanley Cup Finals, I'm sure everybody in that city is more like aware of, they see the coverage in media, they see them on their TV screens, they see them on their phones all the time. Like, they could recognize even like the third liners and the third pairing, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they could. If you're the best in the world, if you are Connor McDavid, I'm sure, yeah, he probably gets recognized everywhere. At least everywhere in Canada. And then probably even cities in the States too, I'm sure. Of course, it's nothing like you said, it's nothing like an actual celebrity, like, influencer, yeah, like, because, like, it would mostly only be sports fanatics and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still more than zero. Like I said, I bet you, Liam is just chilling. Here's your shut up. You wanted to shut up. I'm sure a lot of them can't go out in public though, like during, especially this time of year, if you were in a city like that. He said thanks. Liam's just chilling, huge shout out. Whoa, yeah, W Liam. Okay. Oh, hey, what's up, Tyler Cassidy? Zara is here.
Hey, Kyle.
She's in the background. She's having a snack right now. I just ate a snack too. I ate pizza. Just talking some hockey. We're talking about the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers.
Who's your team, Kyle?
Yeah, who do you cheer for, Ty? Comment your team in the comments, guys, if you're watching this live. Oh, I'm gonna make a poll. I'm just gonna say Edmonton or Florida Panthers. Okay, guys, I'm making a poll for everybody to answer. Yeah. I think they get enough of it that it would be kind of annoying. And like I said, it's nothing crazy, but in a Canadian market, it would be enough to impact your daily life a little bit. Like, it's
No, I
it's
can see that.
it's nothing like being like a true like A-lister movie star or whatever. You know, like it's nothing
But
like
still,
that.
like, Connor McDavid is like the top, right?
Yeah,
But like, what about like a defenseman on the Oilers?
that's what I'm saying. Right now, in this current state of this hockey market,
Yeah.
I'm sure that yeah, even a random third pairing defenseman in Edmonton would still get some looks at this time. If they missed the playoffs 5 years in a row and they all suck, I'm sure the third pairing defenseman nobody would notice. You know what I mean? But right now, like they see their pictures in the newspaper, they see them on the internet, they see them on TV. Hey, can you throw me one of them
Selling out
bananas?
stadiums.
Yeah, like they're selling out stadiums. I'm sure that even those guys. I'm sure Troy Stetcher gets recognized when he goes around. You know what I mean?
You know the name, and then
Well, Stetcher used to play for the Flames. Actually, a couple of the Oilers used to play for the Flames. Stetcher was one of them. Brett Kulak was another one. Both are like third pairing defensemen. Yeah. So yeah, there's Stetcher, there's Kulak, there's who else? I don't know if Derek Ryan still plays for the Oilers.
you're eating the banana.
Yeah, I mean,
You're gonna ready to go.
I'm not gonna figure it out. How do I check the results of the poll? You guys voted? 76% of people are saying the Oilers. Okay, we're waiting till it gets to 1 million votes and then we'll put it down. How do I put it? How do I get rid of it? Oh, to get rid of it? How about Adirondack Thunder?
That.
I think that's like OHL team, I want to say.
Oh wow.
Adirondack, where the hell is that? Ontario, I'm gonna guess. I actually don't know. You're gonna have to educate me on that. I feel like Adirondack's in Ontario. Can somebody verify? Yeah, all I'm saying is, if you lived in Florida as a hockey player, you would definitely get less, less like public, you know, looks than you would if you lived in Edmonton. Just in any Canadian market. If it would be worse in Calgary, it would be worse in Toronto, it would be worse in Winnipeg, it would be worse in Ottawa, any of the Canadian cities. The people in Canada are crazy enough about hockey that it would happen.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That is true.
I think, yeah, Florida would probably be one of the best places to be anonymous.
You know, that's the one thing that you have to give credit to about men, is they make, like, people who accomplish such great achievements famous. Like sports. Like, they actually reward and, like, cheer each other on. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Whereas, like, I feel like women, it's like reality TV. You know what I mean? Like, not always, but, like, we don't have something like that. We don't have something like that where it's like the greatest women and we all cheer them on to the point they become famous and millionaires and like
Yeah,
a huge market like that. That's sick.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe men just like, they just like cheering. They like rooting for people.
That's why.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah, I'm back in the Panthers. Right now we've got 4 votes, and 3 of them said the Oilers.
oh god. It just feels like it's gonna be like
I don't know, yeah. I don't know. I really hope not. I'm going for the Panthers, guys. Florida Panthers all the way. Previously, I was cheering for Dallas. Before that, I was cheering for Vegas, and before that, I was cheering for Los Angeles. Those were the teams that I was picking. Yeah. What about you? Who have you been cheering for since the beginning of the playoffs? Do you guys know why that's funny? Can anybody explain in the comments why is it funny that I previously was cheering for Dallas and then Vegas and then Los Angeles, and now I'm cheering for Florida? Does anyone know why?
Yeah.
I'm asking anyone. Anyone can answer that.
Because you're against Oilers?
Yeah. Those were all their first matchups. First they played LA, then Vegas, then Dallas. And Dallas honestly really shat the bed against the Oilers, guys. They really, it didn't even look like they were trying by the end, guys. That final game, game 5, I think they let the first 3 shots on net in the goal. Did you know that?
No.
They allowed 3 goals on 3 shots.
No.
Their starting goaltender got pulled. They pulled him out and they put in their backup. And then when their backup got in, he allowed a shot. He allowed the first shot that he faced to go in net too. Really bad, guys. Not cool at all. Really not cool. I can't believe they did that. And the thing is, I believed in Dallas. I believed they were going to get it done against the Oilers. Now it's going to have to be Florida once again to pick them out. I kind of hope that I hope that the Oilers get close again, just to make it more interesting. Like it'll be a more fun series to see it go to 7. I really don't want them to win, but it kind of feels like they have a pretty good chance. The way that they've been playing lately. And I mean, it truly is a really intriguing matchup if you like a continuation of the story, because these were the best 2 teams in the entire NHL playoffs last season, and now they're rematching again. Like it's like seeing you know how in boxing there's like a heavyweight champion, right?
Yeah.
And then if they have a close match, they'll usually rematch against the #1 contender. And it's more exciting even to see that happen again, like a rematch between 2 of the top competitors. This is the exact same sort of scenario, which is crazy to think because it's a team sport. Like they just are truly the top 2 teams in the NHL right now. And what makes it even more intriguing or interesting is the fact that they play so many games, like 82 regular season games, and on any given night, any team can beat any other team. Like San Jose could beat Edmonton on a random Tuesday in November, and nobody would really blink an eye.
Yeah.
You know, Chicago could randomly defeat the Florida Panthers on a regular season game that really means nothing to them, and it's not that surprising. Obviously, the top teams have, betting favorites or whatever, like it always, they have a better chance, but it's not like you don't see upsets in hockey all the time. There's upset matchups all the time where you see a lower standing team defeat a higher standing team. And now here we are again, an entire year later, and we have the exact same matchup between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. So it's gonna be a big one, guys. I can't believe this is happening. Another chance for the Oilers to win another conference. It's crazy. Sure. You want me to grab it? Okay, I'll be back in 1 minute, guys. we're back. It's funny, the viewer count went up when I was off the screen, guys. Real nice. Cheers. Yeah, so I think the Florida Panthers are going to take it in Game 7. Happy Saturday, G. What's good? Just talking some hockey. We're thinking about the NHL playoffs. We're just discussing who we have as our favorites going into the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm saying Florida Panthers. Zara is rooting for the Edmonton Oilers. It's a rematch of last year. That's correct. 2 years in a row, we'll see the exact same two teams in the Stanley Cup Final. That hasn't happened since 2008 and 2009. That was Pittsburgh versus Detroit, and that was actually the first year that Sidney Crosby won a Stanley Cup. Yeah, it was 09. And before that, Detroit was basically on a little roll themselves. I think Detroit had won like 3 or 4 cups over the span of 5 years. Watching the Knicks versus the Pacers in Game 6 right now. If Knicks lose, it's going to be Pacers and OKC in the finals. I want Knicks. I would rather have the Knicks in the finals too. Yeah. What about you? You don't really care? Do you even know who the Knicks are? Short for the Knickerbockers. Yeah. They're a basketball team from New York. But, yeah, to answer the other question, who's better, Ovechkin or Crosby? If there's a way to compare this. Well, if you said all around, who's a better all-around player, it'd be Crosby for sure. If you just said who's better all around. But if you said who's a better goal scorer, it's Ovechkin by a mile. Like, he's heads and shoulders above everybody else at scoring goals. Now, Crosby has more championships. He's won 3 Stanley Cups and multiple world championships and gold medals in the Olympics and stuff like that. But Ovechkin can score like nobody's business. He's the best goal scorer of all time. And he has won Stanley Cup. And I think he put to bed any of the rumors about him not being able to rise to the occasion and will his team to a Stanley Cup final and will his team to a Stanley Cup win. Ovechkin did that. Meanwhile, Crosby, I think he did the same thing, but at an even younger age. I think he was really able to like command a team and take control of games and become a champion like that. And you see, that's the thing about McDavid. McDavid is basically taking the reins as like the best player in the world from Sidney Crosby. And every time there's a guy like Crosby or like McDavid, they always win championship. You know what I mean? You never see a player of that sort of caliber not get to the finals and not win a cup. It always sometimes happens. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'll always get you. Even in basketball, LeBron James. You remember LeBron James? He was playing for the Cavaliers, I think, and he couldn't win a championship there. He finally left, and as soon as he left the Cleveland Cavaliers, he won a championship. Then he won multiple different championships, and then he went back to Cleveland later and won another championship. Because everybody was mad at him. Because I think he's from like the Cleveland area or something like that. Like, I don't know if he's actually from Cleveland, but he's from that neighborhood. And everyone was mad at him because he left his home team. Like it'd be like if McDavid left the Oilers and went to like win a cup somewhere else. You know, everyone would be mad at him again. I'm sure. Or like if Crosby ever left the Penguins and tried to win a championship. I've always been a Calgary Flames fan from the start. I'm trying to think back. I know when I was really, really little, I used to have some other NHL team, like allegiances or whatever, but it kind of, I honestly, all the kids when I was growing up cheered for Colorado, and the reason why is because they had really good team. They would win the cup a lot, like in the early, the late '90s. And their captain Joe Sakic was one of the best Canadian players. So a lot of people cheered for Colorado where I was from when I was growing up. But I wasn't really that into it. You know what I mean? Like it was just kind of like kids would cheer for whoever won the cup. You know what I mean? Like when you're a little kid, you just want to be on the winning side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't actually have an allegiance. You just like to cheer when the puck goes in the net. You know?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people used to cheer for Colorado back between the years of like the 1996 season until around the early 2000s. There was a lot of Colorado Avalanche fans back in those days. Is there a slight noise on the audio feed? I don't think so. Is there?
Noise?
Yeah, noise? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Play it on yours and see if you can hear a slight noise.
Oh, it's your iPhone. It's bad.
Is it bad?
Yeah. You put it in your headphones?
I can try, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it.
Yeah, you put it in your
I think it's my mic or whatever. My phone is charging, yes. Does that affect it?
No, I think the phone is breaking down.
Yeah.
And I work outside every day, so I get like dirt in it. And um, here, I'm on my headphones now. Does it sound better? I'm using my aftershocks. I think it did. I think it worked. Yeah, yeah. It sounds way better now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, I was saying, what were we saying again?
Something on
Oh, we were talking about
childhood.
childhood week. Oh, yeah, a lot of kids cheered for the Colorado Avalanche when I was a kid, where I was growing up. Even though they're a American team, like I said, I think it's because around that time, the Avalanche won a lot of cups, and their captain was Canadian. His name was Joe Sakic, and he was actually from around here. He was from Burnaby. His name was Burnaby Joe. That's what they used to call
Okay.
him. Yeah. So I think because he was a Canadian guy, and Colorado was one of the best teams in the late '90s to early 2000s, a lot of the people would cheer for the Colorado Avalanche. But then it all changed in the year 2004. Might have even been previous to 2004. Might have been 2002, I think. Around 2002, 2003, Calgary Flames got Jerome McGinley. He scored 50 goals, 52, something like that. And then they made the playoffs in '04 after a playoff drought of 7 years, and they went to the Stanley Cup Finals. And that was the year a lot of people switched to being Flames fans for life. So if you make the finals, if you make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, especially after a long drought, it can change. It could change a lot of people's opinions on hockey. I watched two hockey games ever, and one of them was USA versus Canada face-off final earlier this year. I really liked it. I think I'm going to watch the Stanley Cup final games because it's finals times now. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about other sports too. Like I don't really watch any NFL games, but I will enjoy a Super Bowl from time to time. Same with basketball. You know, I would watch the basketball finals sometimes, even though I don't watch the NBA very much. I honestly I haven't really followed up with any other major sporting leagues very much at all for the last couple of years, and the only reason why is because I've been focusing a lot on my hockey page, so I don't get any extra time to watching any other sports because it's already a lot of time to watch a lot of hockey games. You know what I mean? Like if I tried to also watch 82 basketball games, oh my God, guys, I would not have that much time at all. It's hard enough to get in and watch all the hockey I want to watch. I used to watch a lot of UFC too, and I haven't watched UFC in a long time too. I used to watch UFC uh, like pretty much every time there was a big pay-per-view. Like anytime there was a championship fight, I'd watch UFC. Um, and even if it was just fighters that I liked, like just fighters that I was following their careers of, but I haven't really watched them. I haven't really watched UFC in a long time, to be honest. Khabib, yeah, Khabib was a dog. Yeah, one of the last fights I did watch was the Khabib fight. I'm pretty sure. Well, I think probably the best fight I've ever seen. Okay, I'll go through the names of all the best fights I've ever seen. Brock Lesnar versus Shane Carwin. Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez. Um, Khabib versus Connor. One and two. Um, GSP versus Michael Bisping. Um, GSP versus Hendricks. And pretty much anybody John Jones fights. Anytime John Jones fights, it's a pretty good match. Actually, and also Conor McGregor. Anytime Conor McGregor fought, it was usually a lot of hype around it. I started watching summer 2015 when it was Conor versus Chad Mendes. That's the one I don't really remember that much. Chad Mendes. I remember Conor versus Khabib. Conor versus uh, Aldo. Yeah, I remember that one. Aldo, Jose Aldo. It's crazy how time flies. 2015 was 10 years ago. It's insane. No, I can't remember the dates of any of those matches either. That's the one thing about UFC. It's hard to actually remember the timeline because they just name their events. Like they'll just be like UFC 215, UFC 374. Like they just have a number attached to them. Whereas in the NHL, it's easier to remember times because the finals are surrounded by a year. So like you could remember the '08 finals or you know, the 2015 Stanley Cup champions or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's usually like a year attached to it. But like honestly, I can't believe you remember if it was 2016 or 2017 or 2015 back when Conor McGregor was fighting for the championship. I actually don't remember what year it was. It was just I know it was a while ago. Oh, I like Sean O'Malley nowadays too. He was a pretty exciting fighter to watch. Will Zara or Gigi go live? I don't know.
Yeah, I will. I'm just retiring today.
I think she said she's going to later, but right now she's just taking a break. What are you taking a break from doing? Nothing. You ever seen that commercial or no?
No.
Oh, it was a commercial for Kit Kats. You know the chocolate bar Kit Kat?
Yeah.
There was an old commercial, right, where it's like a guy like just chilling, like he's just sitting on the couch or whatever, and he's like eating a Kit Kat chocolate bar, and then like his friend comes in and he's like, "Yo, bro, what are you up to?" And he's like, "Nothing, just taking a break." And he's like, "Taking a break? Well, what were you up to before?" And he's like, "Nothing." Like the joke is he's just taking a break of doing nothing. Like, like like when you're working, like you take a break, right? You just take a break to do nothing. This guy was already doing nothing, and he decided to take a break. But the reason why it's funny is because you break the Kit Kat bars. You know what I mean? You break them. Let's see. Let's see what the results of the poll are now. 27 minutes ago, 71% of people are voting for the Oilers. Okay, guys, we need more Florida Panther love in here. Is there anybody who's going to back the Florida Panthers? The fight's be on so late too, since I'm on the East Coast. Yeah, well, that's one thing I think I talked about this before when it comes to the time zones. The Pacific time zone actually kind of sucks for sports watching too, because the games are on too early. You know what I mean? Like I actually end up missing half of my hockey games I want to watch because I'm still busy working away and the game is starting at like 5 p.m. You think I'm just gonna duck out at 5 p.m. so I can go to work, go watch the Oilers? I kind of wish they were on later so I could watch them at night when I have less to do. But I get it. Yeah, if you're on the frickin' East Coast, then you're watching hockey games at like 2 in the morning. Like that sucks too. Or I guess in this case, it's we were talking about UFC fights. The UFC fights go on even later because they actually go on at like sometimes they go on at like 11 p.m. in the Central Time Zone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of them or a lot of them are in Vegas, which is no, that's Mountain Time Zone actually, I think. Anyways, the point is there's never a perfect time for anything, guys. You just gotta go for it, whatever time it is. There's no point on waiting until everything's perfect because then you might wait too long and miss your chance. Bruce Buffer's announcing is amazing. Oh, I know, yeah, he's the best in the business. He'd be putting his whole heart into that shit. Yeah, for sure. Bruce Buffer is a legend of announcing. He's probably the best ring announcer of all time, even better than his brother Michael. In fact, I bet you nobody even remembers Michael Buffer anymore. He used to do boxing matches. He would announce the fighters for that, and that's how Bruce Buffer got his start. I'm pretty sure, because he sounded like him. I'm actually getting so hyped for the Stanley Cup Finals now that I'm thinking about it a lot. I think the first game's on June 4th, if anyone's wondering. Oh, they're half brothers, but they didn't even know it until later in life? That's crazy. and they both became ring announcers. That's insane. I heard this one story of three triplets that were separated at birth, and um, they met each other in college. Two of them did somehow, like they ended up going to the same college, and they were like, "Holy frig, you look just like me." And the other guy was like, "You look just like me." And then they did a DNA test or whatever, and they discovered that they were twins. Or, but then the story was on the news of these two boys that were separated at birth. They went to different towns, but they ended up in the same town, going to the same college. When the story was aired on the news, a third guy that looked exactly like them was like, "Oh my God, these guys must be my brothers too." And then they found out they were triplets, and they all found each other, and they found out they were all friends. They were like, they like, they like enjoyed the same stuff. You know what I mean? Like they had the same similar interests, and like they liked the same types of foods, and like they all had weird, quirks about them that were kind of unique, but like they realized they all had the same ones. So like they could tell that they were like the same person, just separated into triplets, and they somehow found each other back when they were like 20s or whatever. They were like 20, and they all found each other. Isn't that crazy? Remember the show Sister Sister? Not exactly the same, but my comfort show of the 90s. I actually do remember that show. I used to watch that on That's So Raven. That was the other one. Did you ever watch that, Zara? You remember That's So Raven? Yeah, I used to watch that show too. I think Sister Sister was played by the same girl. I could be wrong. Don't come at me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was the same girl. But she played twins, I think, in that show. Or it might have been a completely different person, so don't come at me if I'm wrong on this, guys. Abdi said he was literally just watching That So Raven yesterday. I know this guy, Abdi, every time he sees he's on my show, I mean he's on my live, he's always like, "Oh, I was just watching that show." No, Tia and Tamara Mori were in Sister Sister. They're different people. Oh, okay. I for a second I thought they. No, don't come at me if I was wrong on that one. Like I said, it was just But yeah, that's so Raven. She had like a special power, right? Yeah, she could see the future. Sister Sister was they were just twins. I honestly the only one that I remember really good was there was one where um the sisters went on a trip somewhere. Like I think they went to a concert and they took a train, right? And they got into like a fight and then somehow ended up losing a ticket, the train ticket. So they only had one ticket, right? And there's they're identical twins, right? And then the train guy was coming by to like check all everybody's tickets, and they had to pretend to be the same person because he was checking all the tickets, and he was like, "Where's your ticket?" And she's like, "Oh, I already showed it to you." And he's like, "Wait, weren't you just over there?" Like, you know what I mean? Like they were like in two spots, like they weren't in the same seat, right? Like one girl was sitting in the front of the bus, the other girl was sitting in the back, and he was going around checking the tickets, and they had to pretend to be the same person. Tia and Tamara's little brother is Taj, who played the kid in Smart Guy. Oh, maybe that's why I was getting confused. Yeah, I don't remember. Same with That's So Raven. I don't really remember any of the shows. I just remember she had like a special power. She could see in the future or whatever. That was like a early 2000s show, I'm gonna guess. 2002, 2003 or something like that. Yeah, those are all good shows. Those throwback shows. They don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah.
Zara better lock in, or maybe I'll be on Team Gigi. There's people on here talking smack against
Who's
you.
that?
That was Ty Cassidy. But then he came back and said he's just kidding. He's just kidding.
Gigi's not live either.
Yeah, she's not live either. So who are you gonna cheer for? Cheer for me.
No.
If you vote for
Yeah,
me,
I know. I'm getting a live.
all your wildest dreams will come true. Um, Bernie Mac show. I remember that one.
What's that?
The Bernie Mac show was a show. It was just another one of those sort of generic shows that a comedian gets because they're so funny, and they just call it the whatever show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's just like a pretend family.
yeah.
Like what's another example of that? You know the ones I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
It was a funny one though.
yeah.
Yeah. Before Zara's time. Yeah, probably. You probably don't.
No,
You,
I don't remember.
I don't think you remember that all those. The fact that you know That's So Raven is kind of crazy.
I like that too.
Yeah. But I mean, they do reruns though. Like I'm sure when you were growing up, they were doing reruns of shows that were like 10 years old. So it's not that surprising that you saw That's So Raven. Even friggin' The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You've seen that show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That show was on in the 1990s, like the early 1990s to late 1990s, and they you still saw it later on. Like they play
Yeah,
reruns.
I'll watch that. Yeah.
Yeah. That show still holds up to this day. Like you could throw on the Fresh Prince right now. Right now, Ty Cassidy is saying he's team hockey. Hockey is 100 times
No.
better than anyone.
No. Hockey doesn't have the stamina, chat.
Yeah, back in the day when you were a hot
Hockey don't have
comedian,
the stamina.
TV networks would want to get you on their channel for the wholesome family comedy. But it's different now. Nobody wants to be a clean sitcom for 22 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't happen anymore. Even remember.
Nobody's like Bill Cosby anymore, man. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah. Great example.
Family friendly, classic household name.
Yeah.
Felt like you're everybody's uncle.
Yeah. Yeah, there was Tool Time with Tim Allen. There was
We watched that.
I know,
I
remember.
watched that. I actually like that show.
Yeah, you wanted to watch Tim Allen's Tool Time show.
Yeah, I like that show.
There was Everybody Loves Raymond was about Raymond. The Raymond, what's his name? Raymond Romano. And again, it's just a show about the guy who he's just like a dad. Like
Mm-hmm.
they would just give him a show. Oh, Home Improvement is what it was called.
I watched that. Yeah.
Yeah. My Wife and Kids. Yeah, we watched that one too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Damon Wayans.
Uh-huh.
Papa's House. I don't remember Papa's House. I remember My Wife and Kids. They should bring back some of these shows. That'd be funny.
They should.
Yeah. Well, I guess they do. They do that all the time, actually, nowadays.
Bring it back.
Yeah, they do reboots of shows all the time. If anything, that's what they do a lot more um, than any other era in TV time and movie time. They do a lot of reboots. Like they'll just remake a movie that already came out. Even friggin' Disney's the worst for it. They're the ones that made they're just making everything live action nowadays, like the live action Lion King. Even though it was still just animated. You know you know what I mean? It was just animated in a different way, like with a different type of animation. Instead of like cartoon drawings, it was like CGI'd. Papa's House only debuted in October 2004. Just got canceled like last month. Oh, it's like a brand new show. That's why I never heard of it.
Oh, so they are making it.
Yeah, exactly. So they are, I guess, yeah, they are making it. I was so hyped because I loved Damon, but his son doesn't hit the mark like him. Oh, it was Damon Wayans' son. Uh, what other show did they do that with? I swear they did that again. They did that with somebody else's show. Even that '70s show. Do you remember that '70s show? They remade it with like the kids of the
Oh, that was one that had Mila Kunis, right?
yeah, the one that had Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
They remade that show, but it was called the '90s show, and it was supposed to be like I don't think it really was, but it was like the kids of the cast of
Oh,
that '70s show.
that's really cool.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody watched it. I don't think I've ever seen an episode of it. I just heard about it. But I do remember a lot of people used to watch that '70s show back in the day because it was just on. It had Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. If Zara goes live at 10 y'all's time, that would be 12 a.m. my time. Oh, they're complaining about because you go live late for their time zones.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna go live actually. We only have one ring light.
You can take it. I'm almost done. I've been on here for an hour. Now I'm not
I'll
even.
join your live.
We're not even talking hockey anymore. Okay, sure. Join mine. Maybe do you want me to move over there?
No, no, no. Switch over.
Uh,
It's okay.
It's just a
I'm sitting
one-person
over here.
chair.
No,
Okay.
I can't see it.
Oh, okay. Are you wearing contacts?
Yeah, but I'm tired.
You're just tired?
Hey, wait, is it actually 3 a.m. you guys' time?
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. in Brussels or wherever they're living. Yeah.
Where, Brussels? No, I
Yeah.
don't feel. Don't worry. No, don't worry. I don't actually feel bad. I do need to go live. You know, I woke up sick today. I'm actually being serious. My throat hurts.
Really?
Yeah, I woke up sick.
Dang.
I know, it's really saddening.
Mm-hmm.
I
True.
never even tried my lemon sorbet.
Really? I
What's
already
going on, Kai?
already drank my whole bubbly.
I didn't
This
get
one is
it.
orange creamsicle or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with the new '70s show, it was Eric's daughter, Kelso's son, and the other two kids are just randoms. Like they remade that show, but it was supposed to be those kids.
That 70s, that 90s show just did not work. I feel like a Nickelodeon Disney show trying to be edgy. Not good.
That's not good.
Not good.
Team Hockey and Zara. Yes,
It's almost
number
like
one.
thank you, Tag. It's almost like when they have too much money, it's like they're just hiring their friends. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like it's not actually like people don't have to earn the spots. Like the show already has such a huge budget, and
That's
like
true.
people are grandfathered in. Like the
Yeah.
directors are already
Mm-hmm.
get first dibs,
Mm-hmm.
so they don't actually hire based on talent. And all the writers suck because it's all just they don't actually care. There's already money in it.
That's a really
Everybody's
good
already
point.
comfortable
Yeah.
because the show already did well.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, well, even if we do bad, all the loyal fans are still gonna watch.
That's so true.
Mhm.
That's why, yeah, a lot of the best things are like the first few seasons
Yep.
of a new project,
Yeah.
of a brand new series or a brand new
Yeah.
film or whatever, a cartoon. It could
Like
be
the
anything.
pilot of You, the
Mhm.
fact that it flopped is crazy, but they know they have to make the pilot so good.
Mm-hmm.
They know the pilot.
Yeah, but
has to be
it just
so
didn't have
good.
the hype because not enough people saw it to begin with.
She's not-
Yeah. And then what else? A lot of movies are like that too. The first
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
is
yeah.
really good and the sequel sucks
Yeah.
because they are just like, oh well, this made a lot of
They brought back a couple of legacy characters, but it still didn't work. Movie-wise, Scream 2022 reboot with Jenna Ortega wasn't too bad. Oh, she's a good actress.
I don't think I've
When
ever
was
seen
your
that.
first gay experience?
When was your mom's first gay
What was your
experience?
mom's first gay experience? Ask your mom. Whatever she says, I agree.
That sounds so funny. When you say that, when was your first gay experience? Ask your mom.
Good use.
That's
Oh, me and your
so
mom?
funny.
Me and your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell your mom about it.
Ask your mom. Oh God, that's funny. No, yeah, they did that. They did that movie reboot thing with a few
Your
movies
mom
too.
is a sweetheart. Yeah, your mom is a sweetheart.
They did it
Well,
with
your mom's a sweetheart, but still ask her.
I think let me think of another one. The Ghostbusters movie.
They finally coming out with Wednesday season 2 this year. I never watched Wednesday.
I never seen that.
TV production schedules be killing me now. Yeah, even you took like 5 years to come out. We waited 5 years for you to come out.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, how old is my mom?
60, no, 50,
59.
59.
Yeah. And I'm 23. You know, she had me late. She had me later in life.
Later in life, yeah.
No, that other guy. Oh.
Well, our moms is the same age.
Our moms are the same age. No,
Yeah.
he's talking about Charles. Charles' mom? Charles, how old is your mom?
Oh, he's talking about Charles.
Charles, how old is your mom? Ty's asking.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no, they take so long. Is Wednesday worth watching? Is it a musical?
No, you know what
Addams-
Wednesday's based off of?
What?
The Addams Family.
Oh.
Have you ever seen that? Okay, well, if you've never seen the Addams Family, then it doesn't even matter.
Oh.
But the Addams Family was.
Abbott Elementary School is damn near one of the only shows doing this the year-by-year seasons. Thank goodness. My favorite modern show. Oh, I've never seen that.
I've never even heard of that, to be
You
honest.
watch Full House?
No,
I've never watched it.
I've never seen that one.
Is that the one? No, that's Modern Family.
Full House is the one with the.
Happy weekend, Moon 2. Hello.
Do you know the Olsen twins?
Is before her time. Oh, you knew Addams Family?
The Addams Family? Yeah, I know the Addams Family.
Oh,
The
what
Ad-
are you saying?
Okay, do you know the Olsen twins?
I do know the Olsen twins.
Yeah.
Oh, they're on Full House.
They're on Full House,
yeah.
but they're little girls. They're like
They were
babies
on
in that
Full
show.
House when
Yeah.
they were young.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I never watched
loved
that show.
hiring identical twins because they could get around a lot of like filming rules.
Oh yeah, because then they could work like half schedules.
Exactly.
They don't have to work as long. No, but I think also it was so that they can take if one kid is like crying and like being fussy or whatever, they could just be like, "Hey, get out of here and get the other kid in." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they got two chances and they could just swap them in and out. And it doesn't really matter.
Full House, big throwback. Uncle Jesse, my boy. You know that?
I think he's the uncle in the show.
Happy birthday, Jandem.
Happy
birthday to
I never really watched that one show, Full House, but I kind of know the story. I think it's basically like a dad had two kids, the baby girls,
We just sang you happy birthday. What else do you want?
the Olsen twins, right? And then his like wife dies, and then so his brother comes to live with them to help
Michael.
raise the family.
Happy birthday, Michael.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like-
sorry, say that all again.
The plot of the Full House
Yes.
is the guy has two baby girls, the Olsen twins. His wife dies, and then his brother, who is named Jesse, comes to live with them so that they can raise the girls together. So it's like a show about two men raising two girls, or something like that. Maybe I'm explaining it a bit
Shout out
wrong,
to Michael.
but that's my recollection of it because I never actually watched that show.
Bob Saget was the dad and raising the kids on his own with Uncle Jesse
Yeah,
and Joey Claxton.
like that's
Before
the
your time too, there.
that's the story of Full House. Is it's a guy named Bob Saget raising.
It's 3 girls.
Oh, it's 3 girls.
So it's the 2 twins.
Mm-hmm. The mom dies, and then the uncle comes to help them. So like it's like that's
W Uncle.
the situation.
That's so kind.
It's 2 girls, or 3 girls, and then 2 dads. Yeah, because they're
And they
actually.
all live together? And that's why it's called Full House?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cute. I just did, Michael. Michael, what do you want now? I just did. Are you even subbed, Michael?
Who the heck is Michael? I thought his name was Janus or whatever it says.
You need
Yeah.
to read the chat. It says right there.
It's too bright with this bright
Can't
ring light.
see?
No, I can see, but I just
Okay, let me help you.
I can't see how.
Oh,
That's what I was saying about the lighting. Doesn't it look dark? Does it look dark or no?
I can't say.
You can't really say, eh?
I can't say.
You're not
But
at
it's
liberty
in
to
there.
say.
Thank
Hmm.
you, Ty. Shout out to everyone's mom on here because mothers are number one.
Yeah, shout out to your mom.
Fuller House 2016 reboot on Netflix was tried to capture nostalgia, but it's just not the original.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the movies are like nowadays, eh?
Sometimes they, you know what I feel like? There was a glory days of film, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels like everything they make now is just a reboot of
Mm-hmm.
the absolute creativity that the
Mm-hmm.
early 2000s held.
Mm.
The absolute beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Banger after banger after banger. When there were new rules.
New rules, yeah.
There was no labor laws, you know? You could just, yeah, you could just pop them out, pop them out. There was no rules.
Same with YouTube.
No one was going to cancel you for making something. Now it's hard. Now it's hard to make anything.
Mm-hmm. Who is Candace Cameron?
I don't know Candace
No, I don't know who Candace Cameron
Cameron.
is.
I don't recall.
Never heard of
Never
Candace
heard
Cameron. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to read that one.
But yeah, there was a lot of good stuff going on.
She played in Full House and Fuller House.
Oh, I don't even know. Like I said, I didn't even really watch that show. I know Bob Saget because he was also the host of the American's Funniest Home Videos.
She played DJ Tanner, one of the daughters on Full House.
Doesn't ring a bell. Does it ring a bell?
Was
or
she
no?
the oldest daughter? I think I've seen clips of it.
Oh yeah, maybe they had another daughter that was older.
The Olsen twins have a sister too.
Yeah, and she's famous too now. She's an actress as well.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, she's almost surpassed them.
I don't know. The Olsen twins?
Yeah, like in current day, like right now, the
Yeah, you're right.
the third twin, I mean the third girl or whatever, the third sister, she's like she like still gets cast as like the major star of a lot of movies and stuff like
But
that.
but that's only because they don't even want to do it anymore.
The other two
I
girls?
think so. I
Probably.
think if they wanted to act, they could.
Yeah, they're just done with it.
They
Yeah.
they don't want to do this shit. I
Hmm.
think child starring your kids like fucks your kids up.
Yeah, like look
They
what
remind
happened
me.
to
They're like shells in themselves, like how the Full House guy is. You know?
who's
Oh
the
no,
Full
not
House
their
guy?
Home Alone kid.
Macaulay
Home Alone kid.
Culkin?
Don't they have the same dead look and like the gaunt face, like it's just dead inside? Like
Mm,
they, you know?
maybe, yeah.
I don't know. Take a look. Take a close look. Elizabeth Olsen on the other sister plays Wanda Maximoff.
Wanda.
In Marvel Universe. Oh, okay. Home Alone hits different for real. Yeah, I told you when those child labor laws were not in effect,
Hmm.
and they could just pop them out. It's not like that anymore, and it's for a good reason.
Honestly, I've never seen Home Alone.
You know, I saw. I didn't get the hype, but I'll watch it. You know what I mean?
I don't.
I'll watch
I
it.
don't think I mean, everyone kind of knows the story of Home Alone, but I don't think I've ever sat down and watched Home Alone like from beginning to
Macaulay
end.
Culkin is cooked now. Yeah, for real. Just like those movies.
I know the story of it. It's like they leave a kid at home, and then
And two people break into
and
his
yeah,
house.
two guys break into his house, and he booby traps the house, and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
like he beats them up by
I don't personally feel like it was some artwork like that.
he like puts marbles on the ground and stuff, and they fall down the stairs and stuff like that. That Wanda pronunciation killed me. I'm gonna start saying like the all Canadians A's. Wanda, Wanda, that Wanda Scarlet Witch.
I'm telling you guys, I just feel like sometimes it's right place, right time when it comes to these movies. Because is Home Alone that crazy, that good? Better than half of these bullshit Hallmark movies that nobody even likes?
No,
No.
but it maybe it inspired the
It was just
generation
right place,
of the
right
Hallmark movies.
time, right group of kids that just liked it, and everybody's kids just started talking about it. Everybody's kids watched it.
Hmm.
That's one thing about kids. Kids are so fast. Pasta, yeah, pasta.
Do you say pasta or pasta?
It depends on it depends on the type of pasta.
Yeah, like if
Like
it's in a can,
if it's dry,
it's pasta.
If it's dry,
If
it's pasta.
you're if you're eating pasta
If
out of a
we're
can,
if we're making it, flour,
you might be.
egg, salt,
Oh,
letting it rise,
that
that's pasta.
is pasta.
Actually, no, I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna say pasta. What is it? Ravioli.
It's linguine,
Spaghetti.
penne.
Home Alone in Christmas time. Yeah, and I just said yes, it was the right holiday. Did you watch Elf? I've watched Elf. Elf is actually good.
Elf is a good
I
movie.
think Elf is good. Yeah,
Elf is one of my favorites, but my true all-time favorite Christmas movie is Bad Santa, which is not a good movie to watch with kids.
Pastrami. What's pastrami again?
I thought that's a type of meat.
Oh.
Yeah.
What is it? Pork? Beef?
I think it's pork or something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like when you make fettuccine Alfredo from scratch, that's how you say it. But when you're eating Chef Boyardee,
I
you're
don't eat that.
you're eating pasta out of a can.
You know what? I kind of want pasta now. You know what? You know what I want?
Yeah, what do you want? What do you want?
I want pizza.
Said.
Pastrami.
Hey.
Yeah, Pasternak. I don't know what that is.
Oh, David Pasternak. He plays for the Boston Bruins.
Guys, make sure you guys are voting. Who y'all backing? Yeah, Hallmark is horrible. And I'm just saying, guys, Home Alone is cute.
But it's basically
watch it next to a bullshit Hallmark. It's the same quality. It's the same plot.
Has anyone seen that show?
Oh yeah, that was okay.
That was a pretty good show, and it's a new movie or show.
That was good. You know, and I feel like, you know what? They're